Hello everybody, my name is Dave McKenzie and welcome to the Beyond the Beat music channel. We're going to be doing some really cool scales today. I'm going to rip through some E minor pentatonic scales, all right? Now these scales have different modes, but we're just going to look at this as E minor. So everything will be related to the E note in the scale, assuming we're playing it sort of over an E minor chord or an E minor, all right? So basically, we're going to do it in 3 speeds in each position. I'd like you to follow along and do your very best, all right? So the first position is the open position. Your thumb should be placed nicely behind the neck. Your fingers ready to play on their fingertips. It's really essential that you play with your fingertips so that you get control over the notes. You want to be able to bend. You want to be able to really feel those, feel the notes and really be able to, I guess, put vibrato on the string. Or like every note is a mini little life, you know, and it's got a little soul and spirit of its own, and you want to really, you want to pick it with so much care, and you want to really fret the note beautifully. So really play with your fingertips. Use your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret for the scale, and use your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. And the scale will be in 2 octaves. So we're going to play it slowly first. I'm going to count it in, and then I'm going to tell you which frets to play. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do a dead slow one at first without even counting. And I'm going to say, play your open E string now. Right? Now play your 3rd fret with your 3rd finger. Right, great. Now you play your open A string now. You play your 2nd fret with your 2nd finger. You play your open D string. Now you play your 2nd fret with your 2nd finger. You play your open G. You play the 2nd fret with your 2nd finger. You play your open B. You play your 3rd fret with your 3rd finger. You play your open E. And you play your 3rd fret. And you can go backwards. 3rd fret, open. 3rd fret on the B string, open. 2nd fret on the G string, open. 2nd fret on the D string, open. 2nd on the A string, open. 3rd on the low E, open. So now we're going to count, and I'm going to still use down picking here with the pick, but eventually you should be working towards using a down-up picking pattern. It'll flow a lot more, and you'll be able to get some speed and sound a lot more, I don't know, fluid in your riffing. All right, so let's take it. All right, so let's count in 1, 2, 3, 4. Open E, 3rd fret. Open A string, 2nd fret. Open D string, 2nd fret. Open G string, 2nd fret. Open B string, 3rd fret. Open E string, 3rd fret. Open E string, 3rd fret of the B. Open B string, 2nd fret of the G. Open G string, 2nd fret of the D. Open D string, 2nd fret of the A. Open A string, 3rd fret of the E. And then open. All right, that's really good. So hopefully you can keep up with that. And then what we'll do is we'll move to a little bit quicker. You can graduate to down-up picking. I'm going to play just a passage of the scale with down-up picking, and you can get a sense of it here, all right? So you can actually play faster. You go. It's really good to practice these scales with the metronome. I can't, you know, express enough how important it is to really dedicate some time to doing that. Trying different note groupings, playing as 8th notes and triplets and 16th notes and even 32nd notes. The more you can sort of hum along these scales with your down-up picking with the metronome at different speeds and different settings, it all sort of comes into play. It all comes into focus, and I think you'll find that the scales just flow a lot more. There's different great patterns to practice too. You can practice in thirds. faster. You can practice hammering. And pull-offs. There's just so much you can do with these. And I'd also really encourage you to practice without without playing in a linear fashion. Like come up with some cool riffs and use some palm muting, and like come up with something cool like a. I don't know, anything. You want to come up with your own music basically, and these scales are great for it. So I'm going to play a little bit faster now. This is something you should be able to play along with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, 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 down. Cool. All right, we'll play a little faster still. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, If any of that's confusing, just go back to the beginning of this video and replay it. All right, so we're going to move to the next pattern. This one happens off of the 3rd fret. Place your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret on the low E string, and this will be the G major pentatonic. It's the same scale, but think of it as an E minor, but we're just not starting on the E note. Here's the E note here on the 2nd fret of the D string, so we're going to work our way up to it. So we're going to go 3rd fret of the G, or sorry, 3rd fret of the E string, which is a G note. We're going to go 3rd, 5th with your pinky, 2nd with your 1st finger, 5th with your pinky. Now you've got your E note, which is the 2nd fret on the D string with your 1st finger, and then pinky, and then 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G, and then 3rd finger on the 4th fret of your G string, and then your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, your pinky on the 5th of the B string, and your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and your pinky on the 5th. All right, so that's 3rd on the low string, 5th on the low string, 2nd on the A string, 5th on the A string, 2nd on the D string, 5th on the D string, 2nd on the G string, 4th on the D string, 3rd on the B string, 5th on the B string, 3rd on the high E, and 5th on the high E. Then you can go backwards. 5th on the high E, 3rd on the high E, 5th on the B, 3rd on the B, 4th on the G string, 2nd on the G string, 5th on the D string, 2nd on the D string, 5th on the A string, 2nd on the A string, 5th on the E string, 3rd on the E string. All right? Now we can go a little bit faster, and I'm going to count you in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Increase the speed a little bit, and I'm going to switch to down up picking. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, 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 down, up. All right, great. So I would really encourage you to keep making yourself play with your fingertips on your right hand. Use the finger patterns that I'm showing you right now, but don't be afraid to change as you feel a little bit more comfortable. There's so many ways that you can do this, but I'd really recommend just stick with the finger patterns that I'm doing right now because they'll make the most sense, and it's really good for you to just sort of practice like that. But keep it up, all right? So that's the that's off of the third position, starting on your second finger. Now we're going to move up to, and I'd like to also just remind you that the E string, or the E note here in this pattern, happens in two places. It happens on the 5th fret of the B string and on the 2nd fret of the D string. And that really gives a perspective, because you can sort of hear that E minor chord. Right? You've got that E note. And then you can hit that E in the open. So just remember to always locate where the E is, and these scales will make a lot more sense, because then you can play them over chords and they'll have a context. That's really how they're meant to be played. But you can do anything you want with them, really, and people keep on reinventing them. They're fantastic. So move to the 5th fret. The 5th fret on the low E string for the next pattern. And there's a couple of different ways to fret this, but I'm just going to start with my 2nd finger on the 5th. I'm going to go 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the low E, pinky on the 7th. 2nd finger on the 5th of the A, pinky on the 7th. 2nd finger on the 5th, pinky on the 7th of the D string. And then your 1st finger is in position to play 4th fret on the G string, pinky on the 7th. Now you can pivot up with your index to the 5th fret on the B string. And then your pinky can actually reach its note quite easily on the 8th fret of the B string. And then your index finger can play the 5th, and your 3rd finger can play the 7th. Now let's work our way back down. Index finger on the 5th fret of the high E, pinky on the 8th, 1st finger on the 5th of the B string, pinky on the 7th, so that your 1st finger can now play the 4th fret on the G string. And then your pinky can go to the 7th fret on the D, 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the D string, pinky on the 7th of the A string, 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the A string, pinky on the 7th fret of the E string, and your 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the E string. All right, so I'm going to play that a little bit faster, and I'm going to count us in. All right, so I'm going to go 1, 2, just using downstrokes, 3, 4, 5th fret, 7th, 5th fret, 7th, 5th fret, 7th, 4th fret, 7th, 5th fret, 8th, 5th fret, 7th, 5th fret, 8th fret on the B, 5th fret, 7th fret on the G, 4th fret on the G, 7th on the D, 5th, 7th on the A string, 5th fret, 7th on the low E, 5th fret. Now I'm going to switch to down-up picking and try to get it clipping along a little bit better for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, 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 down. We'll go even a little bit faster this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, 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 down. Great. All right. So that's all you need there on the 5th fret. Now we're going to move to the 7th position. Now, actually, before we move there, I'm going to remind you to locate your E notes when you're playing these patterns. So here on the 5th fret, your E note happens to be on the 7th fret of the A string, and then it's also on the 5th fret of the B string. So it'll make a little bit more sense. It's kind of cool, right? It out. Always play with your tips though, so that you can much of guitar playing is trying to talk, you know, like you really want to communicate emotion and feeling with each string and know what you hit. You really want to be making sure that you're just playing it with so much care and love. And I mean, people really respond to that. You can't just plunk through this. So I can't stress enough how much you really need to practice these scales with a metronome, and really, but then apply it to music. Put on your favorite songs and try to find just one of these scale patterns that fits, and then really try to express yourself. It's just so important. Or even better still, find a friend to comp some chords for you while you play the scales. All right, move up to the 7th fret and put your index finger on the 7th fret. This is a really handy pattern. All right, I'm gonna just sort of move my. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see this, but I'm gonna try to move my hand here. All right, and we're gonna go. Hope that my picking hand can still be seen. All right, so we're going to go 7th fret on the low E string, and we're going to pluck that with a downstroke. We're going to go 8th fret or 10th fret on the low E string with your pinky and a downstroke, and then 7th fret on the A string, and then 8th fret on the A string with your pinky, and then 7th fret on the D string, and then 7th fret on the D string, and then 7th fret. Sorry, that would be actually 9th fret on the D string. It's really important. So 7th fret on the D string, and then 9th fret. All right, 7th fret on the G string, and then 9th fret. Now here it switches up a little bit here, and I'd like you to play the 8th fret on the B string, your 2nd finger. Your pinky plays the 10th fret on the B string. Your index plays the 7th fret on the high E, and your pinky plays the 10th fret on the high E. All right, we're going to go backwards now. 10th fret on the high E with your pinky to the 7th fret on the high E string with your index finger. 10th fret on the B string with your pinky to the 8th fret with your 2nd finger on the B string. And then 9th fret on the G string to the 7th fret on the G string with your index. 9th fret on the D string to the 7th fret on the D string with your index. Now pinky will play the 10th fret on the A string, index will play the 7th fret, pinky will play the 10th on the low E string, and the index will play the 7th. Now the E note happens to be the 7th fret on the A string, which is a really handy this is just one of the great patterns. You've got a nice little E minor chord sitting right here within the pattern. And you just have so much that you can do. I'll sort of just mention that cool little train whistle bend that you have there. If you take the 10th fret of the B string and you push it up one tone, which is the distance of 2 frets, that makes this note that you would normally have on the 7th fret on your high E string. Right? If you take the B string on the 10th fret and you push it up, you can hear you've hit that. And then if you get your pinky ready, it's just such a great sound. You can just, I don't know, I can't get enough of it. Anyways, you have so much fun. So if you use your down-up picking, I'm going to play a little bit quicker here. I'll try to keep up, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, 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 down, up. All right? And something that should be noted is any of these scales that we're learning here that don't have open strings, they can all be moved. And it's really valuable to move these scales up the neck. You can move this position all the way down to the first position and play it. Now it wouldn't be in the same key, but it would be the same shape, and it's valuable because the spacing is different. So by moving these scales around, you get different keys, and that's the essence of sort of soloing, right? As a lead playing. So playing out of the key and playing a scale that makes sense with the chord that the rhythm guitar is playing or the bass is playing. So I'm going to go up to the 10th fret now for you. We're running out of real estate here on my guitar. I'm going to move my pick back and try to just cheat it so that you can see. All right. So I think we've got it here, so it should work. All right. So now with your right hand here, use your second finger on the 10th fret. You go to your pinky on the 12th. Second finger on the 10th. You go to your pinky on the 12th. First finger on the 9th. Go to your pinky on the 12th. First finger on the 9th on the G string, and go to your pinky on the 12th. Second finger on the 10th on the B string, you go to your pinky on the 12th. And then you're going to go to the 10th fret on your B string, and your pinky on the 12th. Notice that your pinky is playing all the 12th fret notes. And that's really important because it's just helps you remember where you are. All right, so that's really cool. You have your E string here on the 12th fret of the low E string, and on the you also have it on the G string on the 9th fret, right? That's your E. And then you also have it on the 12th fret of the high E string. So you can work this scale out, right? I'm going to switch, I'm going to go quickly to down up picking. You can review this scale, right, as needed. We're going to go 10th fret, 12th, right? So down, up, 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 down. Just sounds super sweet. And then that brings us all the way to the 12th fret. If you're playing an acoustic and you don't have a cutaway, you're going to have a bit of a struggle with this, but it's definitely going to be possible, right? So I'm going to have to move my picking down here to the bridge just so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So we're going to go 12th fret with your index. Now this is just like the open position again. It's just on the 12th fret, so this is one octave higher. So everything here on the 12th fret are just like your open strings, but it's up one octave. We have to fret every single 12th fret. So you go to the 12th fret, and then your pinky plays the 15th of the E string. You go to the 12th fret of the A, and your third finger plays the 14th of the A. Your first finger plays the 12th fret of the D string. Your pinky plays the 14th of the D. Your index plays the 12th fret of the G string. Your third finger plays the 14th of the G. Your index plays the 12th of the B string. Your pinky plays the 15th. And your index plays the 12th of the high E string. And your pinky plays the 15th. So you can really work this out. And just remember, you can play so many great lead licks with this pattern. This is one of the greats, really. So this is one that's definitely movable. And what's really nice about this is your index plays the same fret every time, and it really feels quite comfortable and natural for your hand. So I'll recommend moving this scale here all around the neck, right? Your first finger, pinky, first finger, third, first finger, third, first finger, third, first finger, pinky, first finger, pinky, all right? So 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15. And really start ripping some thirds. Okay? Really get into these and try moving them around and just do your best. I'm sure you'll do wonderfully well with them, all right? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video tutorial. Maybe scales, maybe songs, maybe arpeggios, but we're going to be putting lots out for you. So we hope you enjoy these. Give us any feedback. If there's anything that we're doing in the videos that doesn't work for you, I'll fix it, right? It's just this is just supplementary material to make life a lot easier for you, a lot easier as you're learning the guitar and getting into it. I'd really like to help you learn how to apply these scales too. Just learning them isn't enough, but I'd really encourage you to really experiment and try to find, with this whole scale section that I've just showed you, I'd really try to encourage you to find songs that are in the key of E minor. You know, like Jimi Hendrix's Purple Haze is a really good one for soloing over with all of these patterns. Susie Q in E minor. There's just so many great ones that you can do. So get deep into it. You have to spend a lot of time with these scales before they become muscle memory for you. And once you do, you won't be able to get enough of it. There's a lot of really good backing tracks on YouTube that you can follow along with. I'll definitely make one for you, and then you can try applying the scales to that. All right? Keep picking. Definitely subscribe to the Beyond the Beat YouTube channel and like any of the videos that you like, and keep at it. Keep playing. All right, until next time, signing off, Dave McKenzie. Oh Lord, peel my surface off and free my body's pain.